So it's another bad piece of news for Donald Trump. This time, his condo business is failing like it's never failed before because he and his family, his whole brand is worthless now because most people hate his guts. So there's a new piece of reporting showing that people trying to sell condos in Trump Towers in New York and Vegas, Chicago, everywhere else are finding that their condos are worth 30 or 40% less than they used to be. And some people are selling their condos for less than they did 10, 15 years ago. So they're taking real losses, and they're certainly taking losses when you expect your real estate value to increase, not decrease. And this is bad for the Trump family for a bunch of reasons. One, they still do own some of the individual units. Many they've already sold off to people, so the resale, they don't really get any benefit from that. But Trump and his family, Eric and Don Jr. and Ivanka, they help run the organization, they're still owning multiple units in various buildings, meaning that the family expected to sell them for a lot more, and they're going to lose money when they find that $1 million, $2 million condo might only be worth 1.5750 whatever, and this is really going to hurt the family's bottom line, which you love to see. But perhaps the bigger effect is that this is a clear sign as any, that the brand is failing, that Donald Trump has always made his money on the brand. It's not really about the buildings as much for Donald. That's part of his ego, but where Trump really made his money consistently, because a lot of his own projects failed, was selling the Trump name. Because for a lot of people for a long time, Trump meant luxury, Trump meant class, Trump meant elegance. I know that sounds insane, but apparently that was a thing maybe before my time. I'm a bit of a younger guy. But now Trump means, racism. Trump means thuggery. Trump means a hatred of democracy. Trump means a hatred of education and rationality. And so for a lot of people, especially the sorts of people that might want to live in a luxury condo, it's not a good association. And indeed, some people don't want to buy in the condos because if anything, they fear being associated with Trump and facing some of the same consequences he did. And so this is part of a broader trend. We already saw it a couple times. There are condos in other parts of the US that had the Trump name on them that have basically voted to remove the name or tried to remove the name because it's the only way they can protect their investment. And we also saw in South Florida, in Palm Beach, around Mar-a-Lago, Trump was basically almost evicted by his neighbors from Mar-a-Lago. They failed to do so because he's such a circus and he's such a nuisance. And so I've said this before and I'll say it again. Donald Trump doesn't have anyone around him that he wants around him. The people that he wants to be accepted by, other rich people, other rich white people, a lot of them don't want to be around him anymore. And so Trump's only supporters are people that live in the flyover states. I would never call them that personally. I think that's rude. But Trump doesn't want to associate with the MAGA base. He wants to be with the liberal elite he hates, but they don't want to live near him. They don't want to have their name associated with them, and they don't want to even go in his buildings. And so this is just an awful day for Donald Trump. Everyone's calling him crazy. His condos are failing. He just found out he's banned from Facebook again for at least 2 more years, maybe more. We might talk about that a little bit later today. Just an awful day, but he deserves it. If there's one thing Donald Trump hates more than anything, it's his ego being shattered. And his name being toxic, that's about as big an ego hit as anything.